guys, this is All Day Fishing 23. I am Julian, and today I'm going to be going over some really effective hybrid striped bass, aka wipers, and striper lures that I use. So let's start off with the Zoom Super Fluke. Now this has got to be one of the best lures to use. It's so versatile and you can use it in so many different ways. My favorite way to use it is using a 1/2 ounce lead arrowhead, like swim bait jig head on it, if that's what it's called. I'm sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. But what you're gonna wanna do is cast it out, let it sink about midway. Don't let it go to the bottom because this thing will get hung. And not only that, is what I noticed with hybrid striped bass is they hit the lures from up. They like to explode on them from their bait. They wanna ambush. With stripers, they'll hit it top water, mid, and they'll hit it on the bottom. Just be careful because this weight is so heavy it can get caught on rocks if it's a rocky bottom. But I'd recommend fishing it midway. And what I do is I'll reel it in at a mid-speed retrieval, and I'll let it drop, twitch it up 2 times very fast, and then start reeling it again. Let it drop, twitch it up 3 times, then start reeling in, twitch it up once, let it drop. And usually when it twitches 3 times on the drop or twitches on the one, it's usually when the fish is going to hit it and they're going to run. They're going to run, so you got to remember to set your drag pretty low so they don't just snap off your line right there. Like, I have learned so many times to not set the hook immediately because I have lost so many fish, even if I'm using 25-pound test lines. So I usually let them run for a second, then I'll set the hook, and then I'll let the drag kind of loose. And then once they stop running, I'll tighten it and reel them in. So just warning you with this one in particular, for me, that's what I've had with experience. So Zoom Super Fluke. Next one, we're gonna go over these 2 types of guys, the Zara Super Spook and the Zara Super Spook Junior. Now for stripers and really big hybrids, I would recommend the regular size Zara Super Spook. And for going for smaller hybrids, and the big ones will hit this too, I'd go with the Junior. And what I really like about these baits is even if you cast them in heavy current, they still stay on top and they don't immediately get washed down. Right when you start reeling it in and you start twitching and it does that zigzag motion, it stays straight through the current. And that's really good because the fish will hear it and see it on top. And usually when they hit it, it's usually right when it's going off the edge of the moving water is usually when they'll burst up on top of it. And they'll jump right out of the water. They're not going to just hit it sometimes kind of like the bottom, kind of like a largemouth or a smallmouth, but these fish will hit it and they're very aggressive. So I'd recommend using this guy on a cloudy day is what I like using it mainly. On a cloudy day, or they're really good when it's raining. But yeah, you're going to want to do this at, again, kind of like the Zoom Super Fluke, a medium to but fast retrieval, and you're going to want to twitch your pole because you really want that darting motion right there with this bait. And same for this guy. I fish this one usually a little bit faster because it's smaller, and I've noticed these fish like a very fast retrieval when it comes to topwater lures. So I'd recommend these 2 guys. I would always have at least 2 or 3 of these in your tackle box. That's my recommendation. Now the next one is a pretty big lure. This is a Cordell Redfin. I'm pretty sure this one is the 8 or 9 inch. This is a big lure, but don't get intimidated by it because this will catch a lot of fish. This is my favorite color, the silver with the little teal on top. So with these guys, you're gonna fish them really slow. What you're gonna wanna do is cast them out, let them sit, and you wanna reel it really slow and then twitch it once, and then reel it really slow, twitch it twice. And I only do a 1 and 2 combo with this guy. I don't usually do 3 because the motion kind of looks weird. It'll go 1, 2, and then the 3, it just kind of, I don't know. I've always had better luck on a 1, 2, 1, 2, 2 is what I do. And you're gonna wanna reel this very slow because when you reel it really fast, it kind of does like, oh gosh, it kind of does this motion. It kind of goes side to side like that. So you're gonna wanna reel it really slow like that, and it makes like a V on top of the water. And you'll be able to see your lure the whole time. I mean, I'd recommend fishing this depth at about 6 inches to a foot because usually when you jerk it, it goes down to about a foot to 6 inches. Depending on how hard you jerk it. I do kind of a soft jerk, so it goes down about 6. But this is a big bait, and if you want to catch big fish, I'd highly recommend using this on a sunny day because of how reflective it's going to reflect that sunlight, and it's going to make it a very visible bait during the afternoon if you want to fish for it. They're mainly going to probably be on the bottom, but in the evening time when you got that sun on top of that water, this guy will rip some lips, just letting you know. All right, and now we're going to move on to the Creek Chub Popper. This is a big bait too. It weighs 1 ounce, so if you're using like 20-pound test line or 15, you can launch this guy out about 80 yards, maybe more than that. I've been able to cast it out to the other side of the dam, and I'm not over exaggerating. You can tell this guy's been beat up because I've caught a lot of fish off this guy. But this is what I find pretty cool about this lure. Now, it's not just it'll float on top of the water. When you cast it out, it sinks and it does this motion. But when you start reeling, it goes up and creates bubbles under the water and then pops on top, and then it sinks down. So I've noticed it kind of reminds me of a Zoom Super Fluke in a way, how this thing will go down and then it'll go up like that. But with this, it's a lot bigger. It's a lot wider. It has, whereas this one's a little bit thinner and it's a little bit bigger, like a beefier bait fish. And this will catch some huge hybrids. I've never caught a striper off of it, but I've caught like 15 to 20 pound hybrid striped bass on this guy. So I highly recommend using this guy on a clear sunny day. You can use it during the rain, but I've noticed I've had more productivity, if that's a word, I'm pretty sure, on a sunny day. And because the silver on it, you can buy like an all white one with like a black head or an all red one with a white head. I've always found the silver lures work best for these fish and the white lures. So yeah, definitely reel this one in fast, because if you don't reel it in fast, it's going to just sink all the way to the bottom. I'm not joking. So you want to reel it in, kind of let it sink for a second and pop it up, because it's going to go boop, boop, and then get up on top of the water, make 2 huge bubbles on the water, and that will get the fish's attention and they will explode on this like no other. All right. So honestly, those are my favorite lures. Now, if you want to fish it slow, you can go with a rib swim bait. This guy's about 4 inches, 3 or 4 inches. Not that big, but if the fishing's really slow, just cast this guy out and slowly retrieve it in. Now, it'll get a bite every once in a while. You'll probably catch some white bass on it. Mainly that's what I catch, or some smaller hybrids and stripers. But if you just want to catch something and it's a slow day, this is what I'd recommend using, guys. All right, so I'll be making more videos to come. Those are my personal favorite lures. But if you guys can like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, because I'm going to start making lures more, because I am not as busy. I have been busy with work, guys. And yeah, so you guys have a good day and peace out.